Hello and welcome. This is part two of my first video. I started a series of videos that I'm going to create, some type of course, but they are all going to be focused on manifestation, how you can manifest what you want. So I will have the first part linked in the description box, and this is part two. In this part, I'm going to talk about how to keep your vibration high no matter what. Because sometimes we get really inspired maybe by something, are able to create a high vibration but can't keep it. So this video is going to focus more on keeping your vibration high and actually how to bounce back quickly after, for example, a negative moment. We all have them. Sometimes it's really, really hard uh, to get back on that high frequency. And I used to struggle a lot, especially with anger. That is my emotion that I most often had. I don't have a lot of sadness or depression, but anger is sometimes really difficult, and it's difficult to just be in high frequency again, maybe when something that makes me angry happens. So that is the emotion that I struggle most and a lot in the past, but I'm able now to return a lot faster in high vibration compared to the past. In fact, you don't have to become immediately to go into that really high vibration, but your goal should be to go to the just next higher vibration. Just feel a little bit more, maybe better to just go on that next stage, because sometimes it's really hard to go, maybe, for example, from depressed or from very, very angry to that state which is the highest vibration. So it helps a lot to keep your vibration, to just do your inner work, really to catch where your negative thoughts or negative vibration is really coming from. What is the origin of it? So one way that you can solve this is in your journal. To journal, maybe, for example, about questions. Journaling questions can help a lot. And to go on the next stage of consciousness, because however awakened we might be, again, all of us at some time have some low vibration moment or lower vibration. Just small things like maybe a bad hair day, or sometimes just something physical, or something really low energy, or it's sometimes really hard when you are sick physically. So we all have those negative moments, but you need to work on the root of it, to work on your consciousness side of it, because We can often manifest, for example, for a moment, it can happen that you can manifest a really, really good thing in your life, but it may be just a one-time thing and you can keep it or manifest more of it. So you really need to work on those limiting beliefs, that programming that you might have since childhood and also later in life, of your life story and things that happen to you. So, don't you think that our life stories, just think a bit for a moment, how our life stories shaped us, have shaped us. For example, you could be a totally different person with if you had a different life story, but we are often defined by that. A lot of it is sometimes, even if you are, for example, firstborn or the baby of the family, even the order of birth affects sometimes our personality, the schools we go, and so sometimes it's not who we are, but we confuse our life story with who we really are. That's why you need to deconstruct and reprogram your mind to just get free of that. Who would you be without what happened to you, without that life story? This is taking it really deep and to the roots of it. So, this is a journey, and you have to go in this journey. To keep your vibration high, you need to also um, know that it's a moment to moment decision. And what we did and our thoughts on the just previous moment affect how we feel and our frequency in this moment. But if we go little by little, step by step, a little higher frequency, we can really just feel better. It has happened a lot of times, for example, also in my life, in which I felt really not good and started to just do something to relax and make my vibration higher. And at some point, I really laughed about it. I really laughed about how angry I was just a few moments before, and just it seemed totally fine, everything. So it's a moment to moment decision every time. Where you are putting your energy, it collapses all other possibilities. So um, think of it this way. Like, let's say there are 10 houses in your neighborhood, in one neighborhood, and in all of them is living one different version of you. In the first house, maybe is the version of you which is really broke, single, um, I don't know, the lowest vibration possible. In the next house, you are doing a little better. Maybe you are knowing someone. In the next house, you are, let's say, doing better financially, but have a toxic relationship. In the next one, the opposite. And in, let's say, the 10th house, you would just have everything you wanted. But all this exists in a parallel universe. All of this exists at the same time. It's you who choose where you are putting your energy and your focus. So where you are putting your focus and your energy, it collapses all other possibilities. For example, in parallel universes can be different versions of me. In the next moment can be really different. Let's say after I finish this video, I could be doing one thing, I could be doing another. All different frequencies and different things exist on the same time in parallel universes. Even the concept of time is not the human time, how we perceive it. Maybe it's all happening at one moment. We often have moments like that. A lot of people have, like when something happened, they just knew it will happen. So maybe even time is just human perception. Does time exist, or all things are happening at the same moment? So just this was a little bit deep, but I wanted to say that the next moment depends of the decision that you are making now. You can just go to a better frequency, and this is by your focus and your energy. You focus on one reality, the best that you want, and it collapses all other possibilities. It's actually a film about this. I can't remember the title of the film now, but I will try to find it and put it in the description box of this video. It was a film about exactly this. In the same neighborhood. There, of course, fictional, but it illustrates this. There were a group of friends, and just in different realities in the same neighborhood, there were different versions of them. They could go out of the house and they could come back and see that a different reality, a totally different reality. For example, in one reality, the protagonist was successful. In uh, another reality, no, different things were different. So just think about it. We make the choices and we uh, focus on what we want to focus. Of course, then there are parts that we can more easily control and others that we can't. But evolving and really um, going to that next stage of consciousness helps, really helps to also create more beautiful things in our lives. So some practical steps on how to keep your vibration high. So what I do in my days, I try to only engage in positive things and activities. I have some just routines or rituals, as you can say, that I do one after the other in my days. For example, I start my days with meditation. I meditate every day. I have some recorded meditations, and on different days I choose the ones that I like or are more adaptable to that day. For example, I have gratitude meditation, meditation to go more into my body. I usually start every day meditating that way to just feel more myself in my body and in my womb. As a woman, I try to breathe up and down by feeling that breath going down my body. With this makes me more embodied and more conscious in my body. I sometimes meditate, and this is one of my favorites one, pleasure audio meditation. Again, trying to relax and just um, prep my day to prepare myself to just take everything with pleasure during the day. Because often we forget about enjoying the moments and pleasure, and just in our days we go from one things to another, um, waiting to just finish the thing, go to another, go to work, go home, one thing after another, and we forget about enjoying it and about pleasure. So I do that pleasure meditation, and after that, I just can find pleasure in everything I do after that. For example, I do makeup, I exercise, get dressed, just part of my morning routine. And after this meditation, I do them with a lot more pleasure. And they also have different types of meditations, sometimes trying to create a bubble around myself of positive energy so that I'm not affected by the negative energies of other people. I do this type of meditation most of the time when I have to interact with other people and maybe be in difficult situations, I don't know, during the day, or just something that makes me a little bit anxious, or which is related to people and their energies. I do this to keep my positive energy despite of their energies. And a lot of times, especially in the summer and spring, I do grounding. Grounding is best to be done with your uh, feet, with your bare feet in the nature. This is really helpful. Grounding is really helpful, and it's best for anxiety. When I sometimes feel anxious or overwhelmed, I do this one, grounding. So I have different types of meditations. Another one is for my partnership and divine union, trying to find in myself what I would want from my partner. I do this often to feel more listened, and like I'm talking with my, I'm just being there in my meditation with my soulmate, and just try to relax in his masculine energy. So I do different kinds of meditations. Sometimes I do one, and sometimes two or three. Uh, I have recorded audios of them and do them according to the challenges and according to the day and what I feel for the day. So meditation is a really good practical step. Second, of course, is journaling. I journal all the time, every day. The way that I journal is that I like to see my progress, and because of this, I write every day. I journal in the morning after meditation, and I write one thing that I have accomplished that day, and another thing that I want to accomplish in the future, not necessarily the next day, but in the future. And this helps me a lot, even because even if it is a really small thing that I have progressed, or maybe just even sometimes received something and just had the joy and knew better how to receive, this is also one, let's say, achievement or a, a step ahead. So even small things, I write about them that I have just done or something new, which will bring me more to the life that I want. And I also journal sometimes. When I want to go to the next stage, I journal about the uh, things that I want to learn, and I mostly think about when I want to achieve something, I mostly think about who I want to become to achieve this thing, to have these things. So I focus on the person I want to become. Even if I want to make more money or receive something, I try to focus and to learn about more about the person that I need to become to have that thing. And sometimes I journal in my journal um, about my new identity and with the question what my new identity needs to teach to my current identity to achieve that thing. So, kind of, if I had to think what I would know. So, this is another type of journaling that I do. I sometimes, of course, all the time, I follow some self-help program, and they have their own journaling prompts, and I answer to those questions and make lists and everything that they suggest doing to just develop myself. I journal uh, about them according to different topics. So journaling is a really good way to keep your vibration high and keep yourself current and emotionally current, because sometimes we even lie to ourselves. Another practical step that I also mentioned before is to follow self-help programs. This helps me a lot to keep my vibration high, not just progress with getting information, but as soon as I sign up to a program, um, I just see how can I have the thing. I try my best to follow those steps like a good student. I try to follow everything that they say, even it might sound stupid or I might think that it doesn't work. I just surrender to it. I surrender to the program and whoever created that program. I follow it religiously. And just by trusting the process helps me keep my vibration high. Even if I have moments that I uh, don't do progress or I did steps back, I can just go back to the program and believe that I can achieve better in the future and trust that this was part of the process. Also, it helps a lot to keep my vibration high, having positive role models, people who have already achieved what I want and maybe even have more. If I, for example, I just want financial freedom or I want something really, which sounds really big to me, I can see other people who have already achieved not only that thing, but a lot more. So this makes mine sound so little. And following their lives helps me a lot. Fortunately, today we have social media and all a lot of information can be gained from the internet. Of course, not of them are real because a lot of people is this also the problem of fakes, but uh, the people that I believe, the people that I try to follow just inspire me more, and of course they are, for example, in a better state than I am, and what I want just seems really small. Um, Comparing it to, for example, if they have a lot more. So this keeps me in higher vibration and make me believe that of course you can have that if other people have that and more than that. So it's really helpful. So that's all for this episode 2 of how to manifest. This was more focused on keeping a high vibration no matter what. So thank you for watching.